the man of the hour. You know what? Last time I checked, he was getting arrested again. But I kind of want to call. I kind of want to call him. Should I call these assholes before we get Colburn on? Should I call him? All right, let's call him. I've got him on speed dial. I just want to call him one more time to see. Hey, are you guys still serving foie gras? Let me see. Are they on my recent? I have them in my. They're one of my favorites, I think. Let me see. CACHE. I have them on my speed dial. Sorry, sometimes Cash Restaurant. Here we go. Cash Restaurant in beautiful Little Rock, Arkansas. Let's see. Hello? 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 Hello?
Thank you for calling Cash. I do apologize
Hello?
that we missed your call. If you will, leave your name
Damn
and
it.
your number, and we will try to get back with you as soon as possible. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name's Joe. I'm a concerned citizen, and I was just calling to check if you guys were still torturing birds until their livers were 10 times the size they would naturally grow in order to feed those diseased livers to your unsuspecting and benighted clientele. It seems odd to me that you're torturing animals for profit and then feeding them to people who don't even know what they're eating. It's dishonest, and you're doing a disservice to the entire food and beverage industry and to humanity. Please stop now. What do you think? I think that was a pretty good. Who are we calling? That was Cash Restaurant in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'd like to just put in your, if you'd like, you can join in. You can call. They're open. They just didn't answer my phone call, but they might answer yours. You never know. Please call 501-850-0265 and tell Cash and Payne Harding that foie gras is unacceptable. Please. I saw I had another thank you. Oh, thank you. She's just a vegan girl living in a lonely world. She took that vegan train that goes all night long. He's just a vegan boy, born and raised in Little Rock, Detroit. I don't know. Fucking, I got you. I don't know. Like, thank you so much, everybody. That I have never had a single lesson. I want to bring on the man of the hour, Colburn Clark. Colburn Clark, how the heck are you, sir? I don't hear you, though. I don't hear you. Testing. 1, 2, 3. We got this covered. He says, just 1 second. We've got this, Colburn. We've done this before.
How about now?
Yes. Gotcha.
Cool.
Awesome. Wonderful. Cash is still serving foie gras, I take it.
Yes, they are, unfortunately, and but that's to be expected. The owner, Payne Harding, has a super big ego, and absolutely no empathy for the animals that he pays to confine and torture.
Well, most chefs have large egos because they have small penises, but most of them, and you have to have a gigantic ego to think that you have the right to process animals who want to live and be free into paste. Like, you have to be a piece of shit who thinks very highly of himself. But the thing is, how do we get chefs to change, Colburn? How do we get them to do it?
That's a good question. I think you bring up a good point that chefs are kind of desensitized to the suffering of animals because they're exposed to them as chopped up body parts and commodities, more than we are as consumers outside the restaurant industry. They walk into a restaurant and 8 hours a day they're dealing with chopped up body parts, and that's like their livelihood. So they're a bit of a harder sell. on the animal rights side of things than someone who's just a member of the general public. You know, I mean, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, most of us do not buy chickens or chicken flesh by the kilo or by the multiple. You know, like, most of us don't talk about a side of beef. You know, we don't have that, and most of us have never processed an animal in their entirety. Most of us haven't done it.
Yeah,
Like, so I think that they not only desensitized it, not only are they desensitized, but they're also inextricably tied to it because to the commodification because their entire livelihood is based on it.
depend on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that.
I don't want to say depends on it because they could pick a different fucking job
Yeah, or
and
they could be a vegan
have a
chef.
different restaurant. Right. Exactly. Right. So it's not dependent, but I think it's based on it. They intentionally based or were tricked into basing. But either way, yeah, they're fucking. It's like working at a, it's like the head of a slaughterhouse, the head of a concentration camp. Those people don't.
Right.
They're completely. They have to separate themselves from the atrocities.
For sure. And I think because of that, the only thing that will get Payne Harding, who's an animal abuser and the owner of
Total
Cat's
loser.
Restaurant, total loser.
Yeah.
The only thing that will get him to consider not paying for geese to be confined in cages and have metal tubes jammed down their throats is if the restaurant loses money or if his employees become uncomfortable enough to where he's having like high turnover, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And if just having annoyed employees, they'll change.
right,
They'll change policy because of their annoyed. If an employee is complaining enough, they'll change. They'll change their policy. I've changed
yeah,
lots of things uh, in that industry because of that, for sure. Do you think that? Well, let's get down to what happened. So, last time you had been arrested when you were with me. We saw the footage. We got the footage from the fucking the body cams from the cops. It seems like entrapment. It seems like assault. It seems like a lot's going on there. But what's happened now? I got this text from somebody saying, "What the heck? Colburn's in jail." So what happened now?
yeah. It was a lot different than the last time. This time, we've been out there for maybe about 2 hours, and we were just about to wrap it up. And I brought out the megaphone. They had the doors closed, the glass doors closed, and I got on the megaphone for a bit. And within 20 seconds, like four police officers came up behind me, and they're like, "Put your hands behind your back." And none of them, had spoken to us earlier in the day saying you can't use the megaphone. We
Yeah.
hadn't used any profanity. I've been a lot more careful about, whether or not we use profanity.
Hmm.
Obviously, it's protected by the First Amendment,
Yeah.
but the Arkansas legislators don't know how to write laws. They were probably like flunkies in law school and stuff.
Well, they probably didn't even go to law school. I mean, shit, these guys
Yeah.
probably fucking high school dropouts. These illiterate fucks. All right, so the great state of Arkansas. All right, so in the great state of Arkansas, and so they just said put your hands behind your back, and you're like, okay,
Yeah, pretty much. I was shocked. I didn't try to resist. Um, because I've done that before, and it just you get so much more time in jail if you hit a police officer or try to
hmm,
run away. They put additional charges on you,
yeah.
and you can be in there for like a long time, and that's a long time away from doing activism. So
So what happened? They just like there's four cops and their squad car roll up behind you, and they just like I mean, they're right across the street. They just
Yeah.
dragged you across the
I
street
mean,
again.
they must have been watching us like really hard. I don't think they're solving actual crimes. You know,
They're staring
there's
at
all
you.
kinds of crimes. Me and my friend Justin, who's a really great activist. You know, he's very solid and just a really cool guy all around, like skateboarding and stuff like that. So, but yeah, you know, I was not expecting that response. It was literally within 20 seconds of when I brought out the megaphone. And, you know, no warning that day, like if you use the megaphone, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Nothing.
You know, nothing with the warning with that. He did, like Officer Sergeant Tobler did come up and talk to me. And I didn't really want to talk to him. I was kind of just walking away from him, trying to ignore him for a little bit. So maybe that's kind of what predicated it.
When did that happen?
That happened when I first got out there. It was just me and for a while, and then Justin showed up around 7. And yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, that could have been what predicated it. Is that I was kind of ignoring him for a little bit. Like I don't want to talk to
about
you.
it.
Yeah, he got butthurt about it. You know, I didn't want to talk to him.
Respect my Torah day.
Yeah, and he's just following me around. You know, I'm trying to walk away from him. I'm not breaking any laws, and he's just there to kind of harass me. You know, they sent 2 police officers into the restaurant as soon as I showed up. And, you know, I think that should be illegal because to me, it's like Little Rock Police Department is working private security, you know, for this business. And
they're not collecting pay for it. It's not like, so like when we do the Henson protests, cops are being paid because you can rent them, you can hire them, and they pay for it. And because it's not taxpayer money that should be going into it.
Right.
But those motherfuckers are taking your money and putting it into their business.
Right.
There's gotta be something about that. That can't be legal.
Yeah, I don't think it can be. And especially since one of the patrons of Cash Restaurant is friends with the police chief, you know, there's like a huge conflict of interest there. And regardless, you know, our tax dollars shouldn't be going to pay for private security for a company, you know,
for any company, especially one that's torturing animals,
right?
In the most obscene way. So off you go to jail again. Same jail?
Yeah, same jail, Pulaski County Detention Center. You know, this time they put me in like this cell, and I was listening to what Benjamin was saying earlier about being in the cube of truth, and you know, that being an opportunity to kind of meditate on what the animals are going through, because the animals have it worse than any human, you know, any of us probably ever will in our lifetimes.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't even live that long because they're killed within a fraction of their life. They're killed very young. They're killed as children. I mean, they're raised in ultra confinement, and then killed as children, killed as before, you know, pre-adolescence. So, yeah, I mean, nothing is worse than that. But I get what you mean. Like you're kind of like, all right, well, it's still not as bad as all that. But let me ask you what else is going through your mind, because you're also a student, bro. And like, isn't our finals over? Like, are you done? Are you like, am I going to make my final?
Yeah, I graduated from college on May 4th. So, you know, I kind of promised my mom, you know, as corny as this is, I'm like, look, I'm going to try not to get arrested before I get my college degree again.
Well, you got your college degree.
Yeah. Which that
congratulations. Congratulations. You got your college degree, and then you went out and you're like, thanks, Ma. Off to get arrested. Thanks, Mom. Off to get arrested. Here we go.
Yeah.
So Officer Sergeant Tobler
Yeah.
He obliged you of that pleasure.
Yeah.
And back in Pulaski, you're held in a little room with leftover bacon in it or something. And
That was the first time. Yeah, they had a styrofoam container. They handcuffed me to this like table, and there was a styrofoam container with a bit of a pig's corpse in it, just
disgusting.
there. And there were like 12 other like stalls that they could have handcuffed me in, but they took me to
Mhm.
that one. You know.
So when you went in, you so you're in the second time. Now you're in the same one, and you can hear him talking about you and shit. So tell me about that experience. What happened?
Yeah, they put me in this holding cell, and there wasn't even like a toilet in the holding cell. There was a hole in the ground with a grate over it, and the whole cell just like reeked of urine. And
What
yeah,
country is this?
there
This is
was
the
also a little bit of blood on the wall too. And
what the fuck? This is like
yeah,
they're just trying to get you sick.
right. And so I was in there for about 3 or 4 hours. And I used that as an opportunity to kind of meditate on what the ducks and geese are going through,
Yeah,
because they smell the blood of their brothers and sisters. They smell the urine, and they have no way out. They're being held in a place just like a prisoner, um, and can't go anywhere else. Because of the selfish desire of humans to like oppress them.
yeah.
And to
And
me,
to make money off of them, off
yeah,
of corpses.
the confinement is kind of why, I mean, I went vegan in the first place, is I saw that, a pig in a gestation crate, and it had these metal, steel gray metal bars just closing her in, and, seeing the expression of fear and just anguish on the face of this pig. I'm like,
Mhm.
I want nothing to do with that. You know, that was a long time ago, but
Yeah,
the confinement is so much worse than a lot of things that can happen to somebody.
it's
So
it's so yeah. Yeah, obviously. So, how long were you in this piss stench with a hole in the floor? And did you use the hole? People are asking,
I
did you use?
did, I did. I was trying to not do that. They have these clear see-through windows, and of course, like every police officer in there was a woman and stuff, the opposite sex.
A little
So I
shy.
don't want to like catch another charge, for indecent exposure or anything. So I'm just like, should I go now? But
Hmm.
eventually, I had to use, the number one, and
Yeah. Well, you
yeah.
can't go number two in the hole, can you? Jesus.
Well, I think it's possible, but you'd have to like squat down on the floor, and there's kind of a gap. There were 7 like metal bars above the hole on this grate, and there's kind of a little bit more of a space between one of the grates.
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. Still not as bad as Faulkner County Jail, though. Faulkner County Jail is a lot worse.
Also in Arkansas.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was on a PETA call and they were saying like, "Hey, we'd like to get people who are, if you know anyone who would volunteer, sometimes it will involve arrest. We're looking for activists." And I'm like, "Look, I would do it, but I'm not going to do it alone in Arkansas, like fucking Colburn, my man Colburn Clark getting arrested alone, no one waiting outside. Did you have anyone waiting for you on the outside?"
My friend Justin, he picked me up from jail. He
Okay.
he has companion animals, and I'm putting out a lot of information, Justin. So I apologize.
Well, we
Not
don't
cutting through
we
this,
share
but
his Instagram. Skater Punk
yeah,
Vegan. We can just call him
yeah,
Skater Vegan,
Skater
Skater
Punk
Punk Vegan.
vegan.
Yeah.
So he had to go back. He doesn't live in Little Rock. He had to run back to his house to let his companion animal out and take care of them. And then he came back, and by the time he was back, I was getting released from jail. So he came and picked me up and took me back to my car. He did a phenomenal job handling the police interaction.
Well, he didn't end up in jail, so I mean,
No,
he must
he
have done
didn't.
something right.
He didn't.
Did something you didn't do, that's for sure. I don't know the fuck. So, was Justin one of the guys that I met? Did I meet him?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. I think so.
Did okay, but how long were you in this hole in the floor shit hole?
Probably about 3 hours, 3.5, 4
Oh, you got
hours.
out easy. Last time
Yeah.
it was 6 fucking hours. Like, what the
Well,
hell?
they had me there, and then there's another area in the jail, and
Mhm.
it's like the pre-release area, and um, like it's so frustrating because they're like you're going to release, and they put you in this room, and
You're
you're
still
just sitting there for 2 hours, and you can see the cops working on the paperwork, and they're not doing shit.
No,
They're
because they're
like
like
water, they're chatting with each other. You know, yeah,
they're like the fucking apes in the beginning of 2001 Space Odyssey. They're like
right.
booga booga fucking hitting the floor with rocks and shit. They're
I'm a
cavemen.
paranoid person sometimes, but I honestly think that could be a part of the punishment is that you have to
Oh,
watch them not doing
100%.
anything. You can just
No,
see them.
you're not. Yes, no, 100%. They tell their friends, like their friends who dropped them off, told the friends that are inside, fuck this guy, make sure he learns his lesson. They're probably going to drop the charges anyway. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Let's teach him a lesson. That's exactly what that is. 100%. They could get you in and out in 30 minutes. I'll tell you a story. I one time knew a young lady who got arrested for some bullshit. And she was a pretty young woman, and I had to pick her up at the jail. And it had nothing to do with activism. She just got picked up a bunch of bullshit. She wasn't drunk. I don't want to go into the whole history, but she got picked up, and I followed the cop. They told me follow me, and I followed the cops to the jail. I waited 30 minutes, booked, printed, mugshot, all that shit. Got processed, and out she came. You know
Wow.
what I mean? They don't fucking bullshit. They control the line. The whole thing, like, oh well, you gotta wait your turn. Fuck that. They don't care. They are 100%. It's tyranny. They're 100% in charge of everything
Right.
happening to you. They could go fast or slow. It's up to them. They own
Yeah,
you.
that's true. That's true. And it's a small price to pay to be able to apply some pressure to Mr. Harding. And there were all kinds of people, watching Justin and I protesting when the cops, unlawfully arrested me. And there were more people paying attention, stopping, turning their heads. We both kept chanting while I was being escorted to the police car, and it really got a lot of attention of people on the street and people in the restaurant. And I think it's something they'll go home and like talk about, and that word of mouth. I did get a message from someone afterwards. Well, I'm going to keep them like an anonymous source,
Mm.
but it was like right after I got released from jail, and I haven't investigated any of these claims yet. So I have to be very careful about like slander here. But they were telling me,
Allegedly.
yeah,
The world,
they were
by the way, the word alleged means accused without any evidence. That's what
right.
alleged means. Means is without evidence. So let's say allegedly. Go.
Yeah, allegedly, Mr. Harding has been abusive towards a single mother um, who was dealing with like a child abuse case or something like that.
Doesn't
And
surprise me at all.
so,
He's a chef.
yeah,
Fuck, he probably
so this
uses.
person reached out to me. I don't even think they're vegan, but they kind of have had a negative experience with Mr. Harding where he was, bullying a single mother, and you know,
The more people know about you doing this, the more of that shit you're gonna get. I was involved in a political campaign, and our political rival, on the other side of the aisle, it was in a small town, and we were running for state office. And by the time I was done with this I was the campaign manager, And by the time we were done with this short little campaign, I knew this guy. I had his credit card history. I had I had, like printouts of his credit history that was totally illegal for me to have. I had his bankruptcy paperwork, which you can get, but like it was delivered to me in an envelope, a big envelope on my doorstep with all this shit in it. I had photographs of his cancerous dog that he didn't euthanize until the dog had reached a point that he had like a cantaloupe sized tumor growing. I had and I had a picture of that dog in the snow because someone had like people.
Oh, man.
People are collecting shit on each other all the time. I guarantee you there's so much dirt on this Payne Harding. You're going to get so much shit. It'll be like sifting through it, knowing which shit, what should I post about?
Yeah, the source wants to provide this information to me, and they said they had pictures, videos of this alleged harassment. And I think, they contacted me through a channel on some of the printed materials that I was handing out. We handed out a couple hundred booklets, and I'm 99% sure that that's how they got in contact with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I'm definitely going to investigate this anonymous source that says allegedly Mr. Harding was bullying a single mother.
And you know what you do with that evidence? You know what you do with that evidence? You send it to Payne Harding and let his imagination run wild with what you're going to do with it. You just send it to him.
Idea. That's a good idea. That is
his imagination is going to be 100 times worse than anything in your imagination. It's going to be, oh my God, what can I do? And the answer is
just take foie gras off the menu and we're done. It's so simple.
I'm not going to do anything with it. What do you mean? I'm just sending it to you. This is what people are telling me. I don't know anything about this shit. I'm just a humble servant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't say anything. You don't say, here, dude, someone sent this to me. I thought you might want to know.
Yeah. And, I think these claims are plausible because, just in my interactions with Mr. Harding, it's one thing to be a desensitized chef to animal cruelty, but with him, it's just he was watching the videos of the gabbage and he had like no expression at all. He said it didn't make him feel any way. He has all these reckless driving charges
because he's a fucking alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the industry he's in is rife with drug abuse, rife with sexual exploitation, abuse, and harassment. It's really bad. The business he's in is rough, and the position he's in is disgusting. He's a tyrant of his own little world, which is why you trying to challenge that doesn't stick right with him. So you mentioned the booklets. Can you tell everybody what's in that booklet that you're handing out to people?
Yeah. Let me try to grab one.
Yeah,
here.
grab one.
This is the booklet, and it's half of it. You can kind of see it there. There's a little QR code on the back. And, it's just a link to the Facebook page for Little Rock Coalition Against Foie Gras. And on the inside, I don't have the other page with me right now because these are halfway done. But, we've been handing them out like crazy, hundreds of them. And, that's someone. They could have been in the restaurant. They could have been walking around on the street. Someone got one and they're like, hey, I need to reach out to.
You're like, hey, I hate Payne Harding too for entirely different reasons, but we'd love to. It's funny. The enemy of my friend is the friend of my enemy. What is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right.
Nice booklet, Colburn. So you're getting out of jail.
Thanks, Natalie.
And now you've been charged. What's the deal?
Yeah, I got charged with disorderly conduct, and again, disorderly conduct.
Like your street brawler.
Yeah, and I have a court appearance on June 3rd at 8 a.m. And
Wait,
this is kind of funny. I forgot to mention this, but I lost my cool a little bit at the police officer, Officer Woods, in the car. I did call her scum, for opposing our efforts
you didn't call her, did you? You called her
to end
scum?
animal cruelty.
Wait, scum? That's as bad as it
I
got?
called her scum. Yeah.
Oh, that they use that literally in Star Wars. That's PG. That's not even PG-13. That's PG. Star Wars, they rebel scum. Literally at Disneyland, people pay to be called scum by the stormtroopers. Like people literally pay for that.
Yeah.
They cheer when people call them scum. So,
So,
you called Officer Woods scum, and you're feeling guilty about
yeah,
it.
she was driving me to the jail, and they took all the stuff out of my pockets. They frisked me down, patted me down, and put some of the stuff on top of the police cruiser. Well, we were on the interstate going
Wait,
towards the
wait, wait, wait,
jail.
wait, 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 wait. You said that wrong because I know this part, and let me say you said that wrong. Stuff, the stuff. What stuff? Colburn. So wait, they patted you down. They emptied all your pockets.
Right.
And they put the contents, your personal belongings, on top of the car.
Right. Right.
And then they did the thing where they said, "Watch your head," and they stuck you in the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And then they slammed the door. And then these fucking Keystone cops said, "Dude, let's go."
Well, we got on the interstate, and I'd gotten quiet. I kind of vented towards Officer Woods because, I was a little upset for being arrested unexpectedly. But I look over to my left outside the window, and I see something fly off the top of the police car. And I'm like, holy shit, they just left my wallet like on top of the police car.
Yeah.
And so
did you say you fucking morons?
Yeah. And
so, you said it?
I told her, I'm like, hey, something just flew off the top of this police car. I think it's my wallet. and she wouldn't listen. She
That's like so. I'm in the South. I could hear the South because you don't have a thick accent, but when you said that, you sounded like a Southerner, man. You're like, now something just flew off the top of this truck, and I think it's my wallet, ma'am. Like, what the fuck? I would have been like, you stupid tyrant fucks. You stupid pieces of shit. You let my shit fly off the top of the car, you morons. You idiots. I'm going to have your fucking badge. I'm going to have your fucking badge. All right, so she didn't listen. She didn't listen.
She wasn't really listening at first. And then this other guy, this good Samaritan, he pulled up in a car, and he's like waving her down, like, "Hey, something flew off the car." So he followed us off the interstate to be like, something flew off that car. And then she listened and like turns around instead of going to the jail. And
what drives down the shoulder of the
she just parked in the right-hand lane of the interstate. Like right on the interstate, not even on the shoulder, just parked in the middle of the interstate.
How fucking dangerous is that? That's like hazards on, like puts the hazards and the lights on, and then goes.
Right.
It gets out of the car and like
yeah. Yeah.
I plumb lost it.
Yeah. And so she eventually found my wallet. And there was cash in there that was missing when I got released from the jail. So I'm not sure.
Pinched your $10 is what that is. I don't give a fuck. That's the story. You had my wallet. $10 is missing. Put two and two together, officer. You fucking tyrant. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then Tobler came into the jail, and he did an interview of me. He's like, "Do you want to make a statement about your wallet, flying off the top of this car?" And
he did.
I made a statement on body cam footage. I'm definitely gonna Freedom of
Oh,
Information
please
Act
tell me what the
request it.
statement was. What
Yeah.
was the statement? Come on, what was the statement? You fucking coming up your fucking back! You fucks! Attica! Attica! Like, I guess, has anyone seen Dog Day Afternoon? It's a wonderful film by Brian
I'm
De
gonna have
Palma.
to check that out. I'm writing it down. Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh, dude, Al Pacino as a fucking transgendered bank robber who gets stuck inside the bank and the police, and it becomes like this big. Oh my God! You gotta see. You gotta see. somebody has seen it.
Navia's seen it. Yeah.
These cops are very irresponsible, and I'm upset. My name's Colburn Clark, and I'm just a polite Southern gentleman. Now, you hear? Now,
Yeah.
please stop torturing ducks, would you please? Was he trans? You guys haven't seen. You guys have to watch. I kind of. You guys got to watch. You like Serpico better. Serpico's boring compared to Dog Day Afternoon. Dog Day Afternoon. And Serpico's about the cops being the good guys. Fuck that. Well, no, there's bad cops in that too. Serpico's really good. But Dog Day Afternoon is fucking intense, bro. Dog Day Afternoon has got the best screaming shit of a young, because Al Pacino's known for screaming,
Right.
and like he screams Attica because Attica was like a place where a prison riot happened, and he was screaming it to it's basically fuck the cops. Attica!
I like Al Pacino a lot, especially in Scarface. Scarface.
He's pretty good, Scott. First you get the money, then you get the power. Say hello to my little friend. He's great. Say goodbye to the bad guy. Say goodbye to the bad guy. My favorite is always Heat because he's like he plays the cop in Heat, and he's like, well, how did I get myself in this mess? And he goes, because she's got a big ass all the way up it. It's his whole thing. Young Al Pacino, though, screaming in young Al Pacino. Yeah, you got to see Dog. You'll love it. You'll love it. So when you
check it out. Yeah, Dog Day Afternoon. I might watch that tonight.
And if you like Scarface, I'm like 90% sure it's the same director.
Oh, cool. Like, I'm surprised I haven't seen that yet.
I'm pretty confident it's the same director. Anyway, now that I've done all my Al Pacino impersonations, Officer Tobler's there, and he's going, Niall, would you like to make a statement about our dumb fuck up since we're goddamn... my name's Roscoe P. Coltrane, and I'd like to know how you Duke boys feel about the way we've abridged your rights.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. I really did feel anger when he showed up, that kind of primal, just wanting to lunge at him. I was... But I had to suppress that. It passed very quickly. But that kind of
chained. Are you chained to the table still? Are you chained to the table waiting?
No, I could. I was out of handcuffs at this point, and I didn't want to do another 4 months for assaulting a police officer. So
no. So you let cooler heads prevail. You calm.
Yeah, I let it pass. I let the anger pass, and. Yeah, and I'm glad I did because otherwise I'd still be in jail right now.
Probably, and probably, we're not allowed to punch the cops. They're not allowed to punch us. We're not technically speaking. So he asked you, do you want to make a statement? And what did you say, please?
Yeah, I just told him what happened. I told him we were on, I think it was 440 West, and I looked over. And just this brown blur that was my wallet flew past me. I told him I had cash in the wallet. And when I got out of jail, there's no cash in my wallet anymore. So I'm not sure if someone on the interstate got it. if one of the cops got it.
Wait, are you out of jail when he asked you this?
No, I was still in jail. I kind of fast forwarded a bit, but
okay.
Then he was like,
you don't know, at this point, you don't know that your money's missing.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Right. So you're like, so I was on the 440 going west, and this fucking thing, I saw a blur, and you assholes had to stop on the interstate and get out of the car and get my shit.
Get my wallet. Yeah.
Fucking fucking like fucking. This is like
it's
Benny.
Ridiculous. It's
Benny
very
Hill routine. Like it's so fucking. Oh shit! What a moron.
Yeah, and it surprised me. It was Tobler that was doing the statement, the recorded statement, and
well, he's the sergeant on duty.
Yeah, you're right. He oversees that Woods cop. She has like really short hair and tattoos and stuff like that, which was cool. I tried to do. I know I'm changing subjects. If you can just bear with me here, I'm a bit ADD. But I tried to do a little bit of vegan outreach at the jail with her because she was saying she agrees with our cause.
The lady you called scum is now saying, okay, the lady.
Yeah, I chilled out a little bit. Like I was pissed when I got arrested. I was not happy. But yeah, I'm like, well, for one, you need to get a different job because if you're acting as a police officer, then you're literally stopping us from trying to prevent this animal cruelty and prevent the deaths of ducks and geese.
Yeah.
So you need to pick a different profession.
Yeah.
But then I asked her, like,
what did she say? What did she say? But then how would I shoot unarmed black teenagers?
No, it was an interesting response. She said, I do other stuff too. And she said that she was a chef. So, yeah.
What?
Yeah, so she's like a part-time cop and a chef, apparently.
Shit.
Yeah. That's what she said. Cops can lie.
I'm a part-time fry cook at the local Arby's, and they call me chef, though. And I'm a part-time police officer. That's perfect for the police, like to be a part-time fry cook at a fucking. She's a quick order chef. She's a quick order chef at the local fucking diner. She's like, eggs are up, all right. Yeah, we got that. Bing, 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 bing. Eggs are up. Scrambled hash and stay aside as bacon. Yeah. That's what she's a quick order chef. She's one of those like metal spatula spanks,
right?
Hitting the bell with her spatula.
Spatula. So that was surprising, but so that's what she said. And then I asked her if she had ever like thought about going vegan or if she knew what veganism was, and she claimed she was vegan for 4 years, which obviously not the case.
She doesn't know vegan. Did you say
if it wasn't a complete fabrication, then she was plant-based at best, and yeah. But I asked her why she stopped and stuff like that, and she said something about hunting, I think.
Oh my God, this bitch is all over the place. She's a fucking abuser, man. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was kind of a surreal conversation, like she's a woman, I'm a bigger guy, so I didn't want to intimidate her or anything like that, even though she's a cop and she has a gun and handcuffs and shit. But
and tattoos, those are.
I'm still trying to be polite here and not, aggressive to just try to get through the jail time and
all right. So
freedom.
So 3 hours come to pass, and you're let free. They cut you. They're like, we're cutting him loose. We got nothing on him. Let him go. Are you sure he's a menace? We got nothing on him. We can't hold him. Okay, officer. Okay, sergeant. And they let you go, and out you go. You take off the mask that they put on you, like the Hannibal Lecter mask. You take that off. and you stroll out of there. Skater punk vegans waiting for you, and you now have a new charge, which is, so you've got your disorderly conduct that you've been charged with this time. The previous charge was also disorderly conduct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
so disorderly conduct as defined by the state of Arkansas is anyone who talks in
pretty
public
much.
and fucking morons. And so when you go on June, would you say 4th, 8th, 3rd, 5th, 8th?
June 3rd. Yeah,
June 3rd.
June 3rd at 8 a.m.
That's for the
Yeah.
original charge, the one that I was there for, right?
No, this is for the new one. I already went to court for that other one, and I have a trial date set for July for the first one.
So trials in July, at which point they'll probably drop it, and then they'll drop it and say, "Don't do it again." You're like, actually, I'll see you next month.
Yep.
So now you're having another one. You'll probably get another, a few weeks later. You have another trial date, or they'll combine the charges and give you a trial. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. Hopefully my public defender can like push these out a little bit, to where
Well,
it's not in the middle of the summer. But
how's your public defender feel about the case?
I haven't spoken with them yet, and that's what gets me about these courts. It's kind of a nebulous process. You just show up at the pretrial hearing, and they're like, "Oh, you're assigned a public defender." They don't tell you their name. They don't give you a card with their information on it. They don't tell you anything. That you just go and plead not guilty, and they're like, "Okay, you get a public defender," and you've got to figure it out from there.
Do
You
they
know,
ask you all the questions? They like, do you have any money? Do you have any
they
house? Do you
didn't
live
ask me
in?
that.
Uh,
Yeah, they didn't ask me that.
Usually they ask you a bunch of questions if you have any money, and then they're like, okay, well, since you don't have any money, we're gonna give you a public defender.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, they try to because to see how fast because they want to get you through fast usually, but
yeah,
maybe it's different in Arkansas. Maybe no one has any money for a lawyer, so they just throw you through. Yeah.
yeah.
Fucked, dude. If no Wi-Fi in jail, then no live streams from there. Well, when I was there, I had a
That's pretty
Wi-Fi, I had a MiFi device. So when I was in, but it wasn't working inside the jail, so I was broadcasting from outside the jail because there was no service inside the jail. Good question, Paul Campbell. No live stream from anything. There's no such thing as an ex-vegan. They really, really never was because it's impossible to start killing it. You didn't know that in fact was what you were doing. Now what you know you cannot unknow. Yeah, fair enough. Well, once you say that animals don't belong to us to enslave, it's a little hard to say, well, now I believe in slavery. What?
Yeah, very true. Very
you
true.
know yeah, now I think slavery's okay. You do? What made you change your mind? Well, yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah, so oh God, Colburn. So what's the plan? What are we doing? What's next?
Like I'm just going to escalate our tactics against Payne Harding. I think the suggestion you had, I might send him this source's claims in the mail. I do have his home address. I'm not going to dox him on YouTube just yet,
No.
but I've had his home address since day one, and I really wanted to give him the courtesy of not doing home demos and not informing all of his neighbors on his street that he's an animal abuser and putting
Mm-hmm.
up flyers and door hangers
Yep.
and having people from out of state maybe show up to his house and make it known that they know he's an animal abuser. But he's lost all graces with me. He was mocking, the signs of the geese having the metal tubes jammed down their throats. He was looking at me and going like, oh, just really childish and immature. And so yeah, like we're gonna step it up a bit and
Well, when
show
you
up.
see him crying about how his neighbors all know he's an animal abuser, you can go, "Oh, boo, boo, boo."
Yeah, yeah,
Like we tried being nice, asshole. We tried the nice way, you
yeah.
know. I mean, I'm trying to get everybody to call the restaurant. Keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. I love the door hanger idea. Those are cheap. You can just put it.
Yeah, yeah, they're like 10-20 cents a piece. I can get everybody on his whole entire block.
You don't
And
even need that. You could just slide it in the door, slide it in the door, slide it in the door, up and
yeah,
down. Use your booklet that you already have. Payne
right.
Harding. You don't need to get new shit printed. Put that
Yeah,
out there.
That's not a bad idea. I think I am going to get the actual door hangers that you put
Yeah.
on doorknobs because they're just so cool. Like people
Yeah.
will walk up to their house and they'll be like, "Whoa, what the hell is this?"
Yeah.
And then it's got a picture of this guy, animal abuser, red fonts, explaining pictures of the
Your
tortured geese.
neighbor.
We've been asking him to not do this anymore. He's dangerous to animals. You need to be aware of this person.
Don't
And
let your dog or cat around him. He has
yeah,
a
don't leave your dog or cat around him or
history of
anything like
violence.
that.
History of violence against animals.
Yeah,
Payne
and be
Harding.
careful when he's driving because he has like 7 reckless, or not 7, but several reckless driving charges. So,
Yeah.
it's just going to get worse for him until he decides to stop torturing ducks and geese.
It
And
seems
it's so simple. Like, yeah,
Yeah, it seems easy. I mean, this guy is a criminal, and he needs to be pressured. There you go. I mean, it makes perfect sense to me. Just keep going
yeah.
strong. Shit, and plus, dropping off these things, probably not going to get arrested doing that.
Oh no, totally within our rights. I'm not planning on bringing a megaphone out like at 3 a.m. in the morning at this point.
Yeah, at this point,
But the door hangers, yeah, talking to the neighbors, yeah, letting people in his immediate area know that he's in fact an animal abuser and that he won't make a compassionate decision that his own father said was reasonable,
yeah,
to drop foie gras. That's what surprised me. His dad's a co-owner of the restaurant. He came out and we told him we wanted them to remove foie gras, and he said that's a reasonable request. I'll talk to
yeah.
my son about it.
But
So
he raised also that man raised a monster. So I don't know
yeah,
how much sway he has over the little bastard. So you know, obviously he's a he's a man child that
yeah.
needs to be pressured, pressured,
And
pressured.
any discomfort that Mr. Harding feels as a result of this pressure campaign is minuscule compared to what the geese and the ducks are going through.
Yeah,
The tears in their esophagus, their feet, being on fire from standing on these grates all day, living in their own filth. It's hell on earth, and this hell on earth exists because of a selfish restaurant owner that wants to serve a novelty item,
yeah, and he
you
could
know,
stop it
like
that.
that immediately,
Yep.
and we will be out of his hair, So
Mhm. Exactly. It's it's funny to me like it's so funny to me. It's like we want to do other stuff. Like we want to move on to other things, but we're stuck on you right now, asshole. Just do the right thing and we can move on to fucking with somebody else. Like like
yeah, yeah,
like we'd rather not. I did a foie gras protest at in DC at Cafe du Parc, and I was on the megaphone. It was great, like 25 people, some DXE folks, some PETA folks. It was good. It was a good turnout, and it was like 25, 30 people, and they had a big banner. Even they had with like 3, 4 people holding it. Actually, Benjamin, one of the guys, the guy that was just here, he was one of the guys holding it. Um, and I did one of the megaphone addresses, and we did the chants and everything. But at the end, I was like, we have a 100% success rate. We will not be the ones who give up. You will change. This is not negotiable. This will stop. You will stop. Everyone always stops. We've got 5 other restaurants that are already in our wake. Restaurants and we list these restaurants, these are the restaurants that have already agreed. It's banned in California. It's banned in 15 countries in Europe. It's all banned. It's banned in France where the fucking practice comes from. So what the fuck? Stop doing it.
yeah. Man, that's great. That's inspiring, and I think I might at our next restaurant protest we might do the same thing and mention all the different restaurants in different U.S. states, Boston, D.C., New
Yeah.
York, that have not been complete sociopaths and
Yeah.
been like, we'll just take it off the menu, you
Yeah.
know?
Wait, all you assholes will go away if I do this one tiny thing? No problem. We weren't selling that much of it anyway.
Yep.
They don't sell that much of it anyway.
Yeah, the average person on the street doesn't know what foie gras even is.
What it is.
You know, they have no idea what it is. So how can the demand for it even be there or be that sizable? So that means it's just an ego thing with Mr.
Yes.
Harding. He doesn't want to be told what to do. And you know,
it's more than that, bro. It's way more than that. The ego is more. It's like he's pissed that he sells more burgers and wings at his high-end French-themed restaurant, but I guarantee you his best sellers are burgers and wings. When we were there, those people up that were yelling at me, they were eating wings. Fucking wings. You think that he's happy with his fucking culinary degree and his cachet bullshit and his daddy's money to be selling wings and burgers? It hurts his ego every time. And you know what? Because he's not in the business for the right reasons. And rather than give the people what they want, he wants to have foie gras on the menu because it sets him aside from the burgers and wings places. That's why he wants it on there.
I think you're spot on with that analysis. I agree completely with that.
It's all ego. It's all, look how fancy I am. I have foie gras on my menu. We don't use. I guarantee you, his wings are probably his chicken's wings are also probably sourced from some high end, high welfare chicken place that, like, I guarantee you, because that makes him feel like he's not because he gives a fuck about the chickens, but because it makes him look, fancier. Makes him look fancier.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, people who aren't even vegan were stopping on the street during our protest and they're like, oh yeah, you know, Cash Restaurant, it's not that good. You know, I went there before, it really kind of sucks. You know, I just go here instead.
Say, okay, well, leave a 1-star review then, please. Yeah. We'd love you to leave a 1-star review. Do something about this. You could do something right now. Yeah.
Well, Sky, thanks for having me on, man.
I appreciate you stopping by and talking with me about the developments. I can't wait to see what happens next. Please.
Yeah, I should have a protest video from our third protest up by the end of the week. I just finished editing most of it today, so you get to see Tobler kind of harassing us a little bit and stuff like that. So
I love it. Well, you know what? You could just keep telling him, you know, that it's not so hard to not abuse animals.
Yep.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate it.
It's so hard to not abuse animals.
Carnies can fuck themselves. They'll fuck themselves.
This is a shot of all vegan.